Alofa lava and warm greetings to you all. My name is Theresa and this is my story. You are going to live, not knowing these words that a pastor spoke in church to someone that was going to be diagnosed with cancer would be for me. She presented alone, words extracted from an assessment letter sent to my doctor. These words are part of my journey. In October 2019, I went for my mammogram after I had a follow-up call from the breast screening Aotearoa program. I was overdue by a few months for breast screening and was finally going after they called me to give me a second reminder in addition to the first reminder. I got a call back for another assessment because my mammogram results had an abnormality. After further tests, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had DCIS, ductal carcinoma in situ, with calcification in my right breast. This is when cancer cells are contained within the milk ducts. As the cancer was behind my nipple, it wasn't a lump I could see or a lump I could feel. So having a mammogram is very important, as this type of cancer has no outward signs or symptoms. I didn't take a support person to my assessments, so the medical consultant made a note. She presented alone. I had faith that God was with me as my spiritual healer and my support. I had to discuss my options for treatment with the surgical team. Either I had a full mastectomy to remove my breast or a partial mastectomy, which means I would lose the nipple area but conserve the rest of my breast and possibly have radiation after the operation. I opted for a full mastectomy to remove the cancer compared to a partial mastectomy and the possibility that cancer could come back again. During this time, I was able to testify to God's goodness. I believed the word I had received a few weeks earlier in church, in faith, without a doubt. I am going to live. When I called a family meeting with my husband and children to tell them I had breast cancer, I could see the look of numbness on their faces, the silence as they try to comprehend what they have just heard, the tears. It's news they're not expecting. It's sudden. There was no sign that this was going to happen to me. It's life-changing. The shock. Did they hear right? Am I going to die? No, I am going to live. God's timing is perfect. For my operation, I changed from the public health services to a private medical facility. About 2 months earlier, I was considering cancelling my medical insurance. Thankfully, my insurance advisor convinced me to keep it. I had my mastectomy operation just before Christmas 2019. The operation was about 2 hours and a complete success. The length of my scar is about 22 centimeters, and a biopsy taken during my operation confirmed there was no cancer in my lymph nodes. When I woke up from my operation, I was well enough to have dinner and enjoy the compression leg massager. I was in hospital for 2 nights and stayed at home for about a month to recover. I don't miss the surgical drain, a long tube inserted near my armpit that I had to wear for about 2 weeks after my operation. The reconstruction surgeon considered me high risk and I needed to lose a considerable amount of weight for the operation. The option is still open to have reconstruction, or I can just leave it and use my custom-made prosthesis that molds to my chest before I put a bra on. Once a year, I have a follow-up mammogram and ultrasound. I am grateful and thankful to have been a recipient of the Wholeness ministry packs. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge Rosa's faithfulness and obedience to her ministry. God's grace and mercy, the texts and calls, the thoughts and prayers, blessings received, visitations and support I received from my family, my church family, friends, work, other people whose lives have been impacted by cancer, and other cancer survivors really helped me through this journey with cancer. Parable in the Bible tells when the rains and the floods came. It was the wise man's house that he built on the rock that stood firm, compared to the foolish man's house that he built on the sand that came crashing down. Like the house built on the rock, my faith is founded on God. I am healed, I am not alone, and I am living. All glory, honor, and praise to our Heavenly Father. I am an overcomer of cancer. Mark chapter 5, verses 34. Jesus said to her, "My daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your trouble." Thank you.